Okay, me first. I have one ready.
Are we sure letting her start is a good idea?
Just let her. I want to see what she thinks scary means this time. This story is true.
Yeah, sure it is.
It is. It happened to my friend's cousin's roommate. So basically happened to me.
Go ahead then. Tell us your true scary story.
It was like just past midnight. Literal prime time for things to start getting weird. All the lights were off except this string of fairy lights. The movie was over, the popcorn was gone, and the girls were in that giggly half-asleep mood. Bella was the one who brought it up. Okay, wait. You know how houses creak more after midnight? Apparently it's because they remember everyone who used to live in them. Kenzie rolled her eyes. Bella, can you not? That's literally so creepy. But Bella just smirked. No, for real. That's when, like, old sounds come back. Footsteps, whispers, stuff like that. They all laughed, but it was that nervous kind of laugh, where you're not totally sure you're joking anymore. The house creaked a little, and suddenly, it was way too quiet. Then it happened. A sound, like a tiny little whisper from near the end of Bella's bed. They froze. Wait, did you? Maya started. But Bella shushed her so fast her fingers practically snapped. There it is again, Kenzie hissed. They listened. Nothing. Then, super soft. Like someone trying to talk but couldn't. Bella's voice dropped to whisper. That was under the bed. Kenzie hugged a pillow tight. Do not say that. I'm not kidding, Bella replied. Maya grabbed her phone, her face all ghostly blue from the screen glow. Okay, I'm turning on the flashlight. If something grabs me, I swear I'll haunt you guys forever. The light wobbled towards the bed. Socks, hoodie half sticking out, nothing suspicious. Then, all three screamed and jumped back. It said something, Bella whispered, totally losing it. I swore I heard words. Another thump. Then this glitchy, weird whisper again, all electronic and half broken sounding. Maya squinted, inching closer, phone shaking in her hand. Okay, what if it's like an animal or something? Or what if it's a haunted doll? I can't with that.
I didn't catch that.
They all shrieked again as the flashlight hit it. Some glowing, blinking thing under the bed, tangled in blankets and cords. Bella swallowed. Is that? Maya yanked the blanket back, let out a full-blown scream. It was Bella's phone, buzzing on the floor, Siri glowing faintly and trying her absolute best to make sense of the chaos.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that,
Siri said from under the blanket. For like one long second, the girls just stared, frozen. And then they lost it, full-on laugh-till-you-cry mode. Bella's mom yelled down the hall, girls, bedtime, that they only made them laugh harder. When it finally died down, the phone just sat there on the floor like nothing had happened. Maya grinned, honestly still haunted, but like by bad Wi-Fi. Kenzie wiped her eyes, still laughing. Dude, I was actually ready to die because of It's real fear. You can't laugh until it happens to you. Okay, June, if you think you can do better, here's your chance. Go for it.
Okay, this is a truly horrifying story. Lily was known for never being wrong. In a sea of students grappling with confusion and uncertainty, she was the unwavering constant, the top of her class, the benchmark for excellence everyone else felt pressured to meet. Her notebooks were immaculate, every symbol perfectly formed, every equation solved with practiced ease. Perfection wasn't just an expectation, it was her identity, her shield against failure and disappointment. That evening, long after the final bell had rung and the hallways emptied of lively chatter, Lily remained behind in room 204. It was her choice. While the others retreated home to relax, she stayed, chasing the impossible ideal. Tonight was the night she would master every last problem before the final math exam. The fluorescent lights flickered above her, their harsh buzz filling the room with a dense rhythm. Outside, the fading orange-purple light of dusk bled through the windows, casting long shadows across scuffed desks and dirty textbooks. The clock ticked steadily on the wall, each second echoing with suffocating clarity. Lily's pencil scraped over the page, calculations flowing but starting to blur. Her eyes strained, focusing on numbers that no longer seemed to behave as they should. The pressure to maintain her spotless record felt like a tightening noose. She never stumbled, never failed a question in her life. But tonight, the certainty fractured. The lights flickered violently and then died, plunging the room into an enveloping blackness. The familiar hum of the school ceased abruptly, replaced by the silence so thick it resonated deep in her bones. A chill slipped beneath the door frame, crawling along the floor like a snake. Lily's breath caught in her throat. The door creaked slowly, as if something unseen was testing her resolve. Her fingers groped tightly around her pencil, knuckles white. She wasn't afraid of ghosts. A faint, eerie glow pulsed from the whiteboard at the front of the room. Crimson letters began to bleed onto its surface with slow, deliberate rhythm.
One mistake is all it takes.
The air grew heavier, each breath labored and sharp. The walls warped subtly, bending like they were alive, close enough to touch, cold enough to shiver at. The hands on the clock spun backwards, the ticking morphing into a sinister chant reminding her of every sleepless night spent mesmerizing formulas, every glimmer of doubt she swallowed in silence. In an unsettling hush, a voice whispered, soft, chilling, unrelenting.
Perfection is a lie.
Lily's body trembled, each number on her page twisted, smudged, and morphed into haunting symbols. The voice grew louder, echoing inside her mind, relentless and accusing.
You will fail.
Miss Andrews' classroom, once a sanctuary of certainty, transformed into a chamber of dread. Lily's mind spiraled into darkness. Visions of red inked papers, disappointed faces, the smattering of almost and just missed. Suddenly, the room snapped back to harsh light. The glow vanished, the whisper silenced. The door unlocked with an almost mechanical click. Lily sat frozen, eyes wide, heart pounding against her ribs like a frantic drum. The terror that gripped her wasn't a ghost, a shadow, or a haunting specter. It was the looming, suffocating fear of imperfection breaking her flawless world. The next morning, sun pouring into the bustling school halls. Sasha, it's about fear, real fear, the kind that lives in your head.
That's not fear, that's a bad grade. You said my phone story wasn't scary, but at least Siri talked. Your scary thing is math.
She kind of got a point. Not everyone needs cheap shocks.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Next time, I'll make sure my story includes a pop quiz of doom. Ooh, Lily got a B. She's haunted by academic disappointment.
The real ghost was the tutor she never hired. You two are impossible.
No, you just hyped yourself up after roasting me, and I really thought you'd bring, chills, or a creepy noise, or at least like a monster. Not a girl having an emotional breakdown over a math test.
Relax, you two. I'll give you both what you're looking for. Something actually scary.
It better have a monster and a ghost, maybe two.
Go ahead, Rory. Impress us.
Sam had always preferred city lights, but Jordan convinced him. A weekend in the woods, just us. No work, no interruptions. After months of stress, the promise of stillness sounded like a cure, not a curse. The cabin was charming in the listing photos. Weathered timber, mossy stone chimney, porch swing creaking above a carpet of pine needles. The only neighbors were raccoons in the wind. By the time they arrived, the sun was just brushing the treetops. The air was stiff with the scent of leaves and earth. Inside, the place creaked and groaned, each sound amplified by emptiness. Sam turned on every light, but the light felt thin, unable to dispel the gathering shadows. Jordan found a box of board games and an old Polaroid camera on the shelf. They made a fire and played Sorry on the rug before dinner. All evening, the wood stove pumped and hissed with every gust of wind. Sam tried to brush off a nagging unease, blaming a heady mix of isolation and exhaustion. He couldn't shake the sense that the woods pressed against the glass, watching. At bedtime, he double-checked the locks. By midnight, thunder was rumbling. Rain lashed the windows. The clock on the wall ticked louder in the gaps. Half asleep, Jordan asked if Sam remembered hearing that a hitchhiker once vanished in these woods. Her eyes twinkled, but Sam made her stop. 1:05 a.m. There it was. The knock. 3. Slow. Deliberate. Jordan sat up, half dreaming. Did she imagine it? Sam's phone buzzed on the nightstand. No signal. They waited. The knock didn't repeat, but the air felt colder. 2:24 a.m. A plunk of pebbles across the bedroom window. Sam held his breath, listening hard. Jordan rolled over, grumbling. Then another knock downstairs, followed by a quick, clumsy shuffle on the porch. They stepped into the hallway together, clenching their phones as useless flashlights. From the staircase, they could just make out the outline of a raincoat at the edge of the porch light's halo. The hood was drawn low, their face hidden. The figure didn't move, swaying as if studying the cabin. Jordan whispered, "Is that a person?" But Sam shushed her. The figure turned and slipped silently into the woods. 3:40 a.m. The fire burned low. Sam slammed the last log onto the grate. The cabin popped and settled, and then a new sound. Something dragging along the siding. Jordan hid in the kitchen, dialing 911. Dead silence. No connection. Footsteps. Slow. Careful on the gravel. Then the jarring, hollow knock. This time at the back door. Sam met Jordan's wide eyes. He
messaging them, don't answer. All night, wind hurled branches against the windows. But once, there was a definite tap of fingers on the glass just behind Sam's head. He whirled to find two handprints smudging the fog on the window, fingertips stroked down, as if someone had been watching from inches away. By morning, they hardly slept, huddled together, listening to the woods breathe and shift. The world outside was blanketed in mist. The car was parked where they left it, but the side mirror hung askew and all four tires were slashed. The Polaroid camera was missing. Jordan found 3 rocks stacked in a neat pile on the porch steps. Under them, a single Polaroid, a blurry photo of the two of them, taken from behind the living room window. While they made dinner, they spent the next day inside, trying to rationalize that they'd been followed from town. Sam forced laughter, telling stories, but every crack of twigs outside made them flinch. When dusk fell, they dragged a bookcase across the front door. At 11:11 p.m., as a second storm rolled in, the power cut out without warning. The hum of the fridge ceased. The clock went dark. In the silence, a new voice, someone whistling an unfamiliar tune in the darkness outside, moving slowly around the house. Heavy footsteps crossed the porch. Then, in sequence, at every window, 3 knocks, slow and heavy. They grabbed what little they could, barricaded themselves in the closet and waited. Rain hammered the roof. Twice, Jordan swore he heard breathing on the other side of the wall. Ragged, high-pitched, a blade scraped against the window frame. At some point, Sam heard a soft, sweet voice through the wood.
Are you alone?
They didn't answer. At dawn, on every window, lines were traced in the condensation, X's and triangles, repeating, circling the house. A Polaroid sat on the porch. Sam and Jordan asleep. The door unlocked behind them. Shivering, desperate, they set out through the woods, praying for the main road. Then, from somewhere deep in the trees behind them, 3 hollow knocks, echoing, patient, and relentless.
Okay, nope. I hated that, like actually hated it.
That's the point, Sasha. It's a horror story.
Yeah, but yours was about stress. Hers had creepy forest people taking pictures from windows. That's like drama level scary.
So you're saying mine was the scariest?
I'm saying you're deeply unwell.
It was good, Rory. A bit over the top, maybe, but solid pacing.
Over the top, excuse me. It had atmosphere, suspense, artistry. It had stalkers. It had murder energy. I'm literally never going camping again.
Like you've ever camped before.
I was considering it, okay. But now, between bad Wi-Fi, math demons, and forest creepers, I'm done.
Don't worry, Sasha. They only knocked 3 times.
Stop that, I swear